Hey guys, this is Ryan from On Mission. If you are new here, I am a Christ-following, book-loving homeschool mama to 3 boys. And so on my channel, you will find all things homeschool, book, and biblical womanhood. So check out more of my videos and subscribe if you are interested in any of that. Today I'm bringing you another collaboration hosted by Nina over at Everyday Blessings. I've gotten to know Nina over the past several months and she is an awesome mama, so please go check out her channel down below as well as the playlist. This is the Beginner's Guide to Homeschooling collaboration. So I've been seeing a lot of parents online and stuff saying that they're actually considering homeschool for the first time because of all of this COVID-19 stuff going on. So I think this collaboration is kind of a good resource for those of you who might be thinking about homeschooling next year because of all the changes that might be happening in your school district. And so my specific topic that I want to address for this collaboration is how to choose your homeschool style and how to pick a curriculum. If you're anything like me, when I first started, that was my first question. How do I know what curriculum to pick? And then when I started researching that, I kept hearing, well, what kind of style are you? Style? What are you talking about? There are styles? Isn't homeschooling just homeschooling? Well, no. If you research this at all, you know that there are different styles such as classical, Charlotte Mason, Montessori, unschooling or relaxed schooling, school at home or traditional schooling, unit studies, or eclectic, so a little bit of everything. And the first thing I want to tell anyone who is looking to figure out their style is you don't have to get hung up on this. It's really easy to kind of get frozen in indecisiveness when you don't understand something, or when you're like, I don't know where I fit in this. I don't even know what any of these styles are. And it's okay to not know what your style is. There's no state laws, even in the strictest of states, that say unless you have a style, you cannot homeschool. And if you don't know, it's not going to hurt your kids in any way. So don't get too caught up on this. And the best way to really find out is just by trying it. But it is important to kind of know ahead of time what you don't want. That way you don't waste too much time. And if you read into any of these, they're all going to sound at least a little bit good. You're going to probably like something about each of these different homeschooling styles. And so don't let that trip you up either. And then eventually you may just land on eclectic and take a little bit from a multitude of different styles, and that's quite all right too. That's what a lot of people end up doing. So number one, don't get hung up on finding your style. Number two, consider your child. So think about what kind of learner they are. Are they a visual learner? Do they need to see the graphs and the pictures? Are they more of an auditory learner? Do they love to be read to? Do they love to discuss and repeat things in order to learn? Are they more of a kinesthetic learner? So do they need to touch it? Do they need to feel it and manipulate it with their own hands? Or are they more of a reader-writer learner? So that's more what I am personally. If I want to learn something, I have to write it down and I have to read it myself in a text. I can't have it spoken to me. And now, just because your kid is, let's say, a visual learner, doesn't mean that they can't learn with a Charlotte Mason curriculum that is more of a read aloud, read lots of books. So that would be more of like an auditory type of style. That doesn't mean just because they learn a certain way doesn't rule out any sort of style. That just shows you that, hey, if I really want to do Charlotte Mason and my child is not an auditory learner, I'm going to have to get a little more creative and make sure that I'm incorporating things with our reading that help them to really understand. And same thing, if your kid is an auditory learner and likes to hear things, they're not going to want to do a bunch of worksheets probably. So maybe traditional type school isn't quite going to work for them. Or if you really want to do traditional type school, you're just going to have to adapt it a little bit. So don't get hung up on it and know your child. Number 3, I would say consider your own preferences and abilities as a homeschool parent. Well, yes, this is about your kids and their education. It's going to take a lot out of you. It's going to take your time and your effort. And so you want to make sure that it's something that you can maintain and not hate your life while you're doing so. So if you hate reading aloud, maybe don't go Charlotte Mason style. Or if you really want to do Charlotte Mason style, look into audiobooks. I recommend that. If the idea of planning cooking and field trips and art projects and books to read and whatever else you would want to do for a unit study, if the thought of that stresses you out, that's me. Unit studies is probably not for you. Which I do know some curriculums that have a unit study all the way laid out. So that could work too. But I'm just saying. And if you're one of those sporadic moms that just kind of likes to fly by the seat of her pants, you're probably not going to be a traditional homeschooler. That more rigid schedule is just not going to work for you. So the 4th thing I would say is to just dive in and choose. So pray about it for sure. Talk to your spouse about it. Even if they don't plan on being a real active part of your homeschool, sometimes my husband will have insights that I don't even think about. I'll have these grandiose ideas and let him know about it. And he'll say, that's great, but when are you gonna have time for that? And I'll go, you're right. So definitely pray about it, talk to your spouse about it, and then, make a list of pros and cons, because no one style is going to be 1000% perfect for you. So just think about what you like about each style, what you dislike about each style, and just kind of weigh your options. And so then when it comes to choosing curriculum, first I would say consider your style. Again, you don't have to know your style in order to choose a curriculum, but it is helpful. But also consider, what your child wants to do. So this is when you, thanks to the internet, you can pull up examples out of a curriculum that you're thinking about using and show it to your kid and see if they get excited about it. See if, the idea of reading lots of good books really interests them, or if that makes them want to cry, or if doing tons of worksheets sounds awesome to them, or if that is like the last thing they want to do. Because it's going to be a good chunk of their day. They're going to want to have an input on that too. So consider your style and your child. And then I would say, number 2, consider your time commitment. Each curriculum is going to have a different level of parent involvement. So there are some curriculums where you're going to need to sit with your child most of the time and teach them and instruct them. And then there's some curriculums that are mostly hands-off for the parent. You can go online and they teach them on there and they give them their assignments, and you can be pretty much hands-off. So consider how involved you want to be. And how much time you have to commit to that. And then my 3rd tip would be to ask around. Ask homeschool moms that you know what they use and why they love it. Check out YouTube videos about different curriculums. Check out different homeschool groups. Homeschool moms love to talk about curriculum. So you, thanks to the internet, will have no shortage of opinions. And number 4, I would just say do your research. Just pull it up on Google and see what you see. And most companies will offer some sort of sample, or at least like a look inside the book. And if not, like I said, there's plenty of YouTube videos where we'll do flip throughs and stuff like that. We can actually see the curriculum. I know a lot of towns, including mine, have used curriculum stores. So you can go and actually get your hands on the books and kind of see what they're like. And then my 5th tip would be to just jump in. And I know it can be scary to commit to something, but if you're anything like me, you're not going to pay full price for anything. I don't like paying full price for books. And so we use our homeschool bookstore, used bookstore. We use Facebook Marketplace. We borrow titles. I mean, you can do it however you want, but if you're not investing a ton of money, then you don't really feel so bad if you're just like, whoa, this is not working and you need to switch. So consider your style and your child, consider your time commitment, ask other moms who have used certain curriculums, do your research, and just jump in and try it, and then go from there. It's okay to not have all this nailed down by your first day of teaching. We all evolve and change and tweak things as need be to make them work for our families and for our children, and that's normal, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you are a first-time homeschooler, welcome. We are so happy to have you in this community, and I know in the playlist down below are going to be tons of other moms who would love to chat with you and love to share resources with you and opinions and advice and encouragement. So definitely check out that playlist down below. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.